What's going on, guys? Top Tier Gaming here, and today I have a Phantom Knights deck profile, which is super cool because if you followed this channel for a very long time, Phantom Knights is probably the deck this channel is most known for because of a deck I created called PK Hero way back in 2016, but that is more of a relic of a past. This is about Phantom Knights of today. So we are really close to a ban list, the March 1st, 2021 ban list. However, Konami is doing what they do best, and they are not letting us know exactly when it will be dropped. So as I'm uploading this, it could be dropped like this week, and if the list would have to like vary too much, I'll probably just update it, but I don't think anything is going to happen to Phantom Knights at all, so that's really good because it means this list will probably be staying the same even with the ban list, but I will definitely upload an updated version should the ban list call for it. But yeah, Phantom Knights, just an amazing deck. Super fun and really explosive and very consistent. Just a deck I really enjoy, so let's get into the list. Pretty simple, starting off with 3 Torn Scales. Definitely just the best Phantom Knight monster, absolutely insane. Him by himself is 4 interrupts because it ends up being a pop-off Bardish and 3 negates off your Xyz Requiem. So like him by himself, well with 1 blank, is 4 interrupts, which is insane. This card is the best card you want to open with. Absolutely amazing, and the best starter in the deck. But the fact that it's a starter and an extender makes Torn Scales just 100% the best Phantom Knight, and the one you want to open up most often. Then we have 3 Ancient Cloak. Some lists play 2. I prefer 3 because at the end of the day, all you really want to see is a Phantom Knight monster and any extender. That is full combo to get the board you want. And Cloak is just, you know, you don't want to open up too many pure normal summon Phantom Knights, like this and gloves or multiples of this, because there's nothing like to do with that, but Cloak is just the best one to open with like Torn Scales, even though they all technically do the same thing. I like starting with Cloak with Torn Scales because it just makes things a little easier. And I just want to see a Phantom Knight and an extender. So when you see Cloak, he can then search for anything, and he's very good. Next up, 3 Boots. Definitely just the best extender in the deck because it's so simple. Just have a Phantom Knights monster, special summon. You're just trying to go into Cherubini and then to Bardiche as fast as possible. And yeah, again, you just need any PK and any extender. Very easy. Boots also searching the most important like spells and traps in the deck, and yeah, just very good. Mandatory 3 of. And then we play 1 Gloves. You only need 1. The best thing about Gloves is that he can be anything, because he can send any Phantom Knights card from your deck to the graveyard, which is very nice because it can send traps, which is very good for like extending super hard or finding just any extender you need at the time. He can be anything, and that makes him a great send off of Bardiche or Cherubini. And he has a really nifty effect that when you use him as an Xyz material, that monster can gain 1000 attack, which comes up sometimes. It's very useful, and you only need him as a 1-of because, again, you don't want to open like multiple Cloak and Gloves because you can't do anything with that hand, so just 1 Gloves. And then lastly, 1 Stained Greaves. Now, this card's really important because say you use your Boots early and you needed it to like make Cherubini or make Bardiche. Stained Greaves is just an additional extender to go into like rank 3 plays and make sure you have your setup. He also has a very nice effect that you can banish him to special summon a Phantom Knights monster from your hand. So if you're caught in a situation where like you just have way too many normal summons, you can banish him to extend further. Definitely a nice 1-of to play. Doesn't always come up, but you will be very happy that you're running this card because he does come up quite often to just be an additional extender off the Torn Scale special summon. And that is it for Phantom Knights, just 11 Phantom Knight monsters. Pretty standard, I think, the lineup. Like, again, some people don't play Stained Greaves, and some people play only 2 Cloak. I'm sort of maxing out at 11, I think. I've seen some people play multiple Gloves, but I don't know. I just don't want to open too many normal summons. So, yep. On to some of the extenders. We're going to start off with arguably the best one, which is Kagamucha Knight, because he is a Dark level 3 warrior. Again, he has, like, the same, you know, attributes as a Phantom Knight. So yeah, you normal summon level 3, you just special summon this card. He's Dark, which is very good because that means you can make Bardiche with him as well. Yeah, just a mandatory good extender. And then next up we have Tsuchinoko and Jackalope. So only 2 dangers. I'm not playing Nessie because it's not a level 3, and like that can be a little weird. Like you can still use Nessie to make your Bardiche, but I want to make sure I can get to the Cherry Beanie first. Again, it's about seeing an extender plus a Phantom Knight, or any like 3 extenders if one of them's dark, and that's all full combo. But yeah, these are just amazing level 3 dark extenders. Really great. They can draw you cards. They're free. The only time this ratio is a little weird is if you draw both Tsuchinoko and Jackalope, and then Jackalope hits itself, because then it's searching nothing and it just like discards. But I mean, you have to open both of them, and it has to hit the Jackalope. So it's very rare when that happens, but it can, and that's something to be aware of. And then we run 1 Psychic Wielder and 1 Tracker. We're also running Emergency Teleport that'll come up later, so like you have a third way to get into these. And again, just really good level 3 extenders, control level 3, special summon, super good. However, you have to remember these are earths, so you need to use these to make Cherry Beanie and then keep a dark on field, or have access to a dark to make your Bardiche. But yeah, again, you want to see Phantom Knight and extender, so we run a lot of extenders and a lot of Phantom Knights. And then some people choose to play the Burning Abyss package. I don't choose to, because like the Burning Abyss package is very good for extending further or seeing plays other than Phantom Knights, and like you can run a large package, you can run a smaller package. However, when you don't run the Burning Abyss package, you can actually play a lot of really good interaction cards with your opponent. I just want to see Phantom Knights. I want to dump Torn Scales off of the Cherry Beanie. I want to send like gloves off of the Bardiche, and I just want to do those combos and make their consistent board without super extending into the Phantom Knights, and I want to have interaction cards with my opponent. So to start off with some of them, we have the very obvious 3 Ash Blossom. I mean, like you're running this in every Phantom Knights list, but yeah, at worst she's a level 3, which is great. All Ghost Girl hand traps, which include the 2 Bell I'm choosing to play, they're level 3, so at worst, if you see multiple extenders and a Ghost Girl, like Kagamucha Knight, Danger, and Ghost Girl, you can still have full combo, which is very, very nice. And that's it for the hand traps, 5 Ghost Girls. These are the ones I like the best this format, because Bell is amazing and Ash is always good. If you guys are enjoying the deck profile, please be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more Phantom Knights content. I absolutely love this deck, and yeah, I just want to let you guys know that there will definitely be more of it coming soon. Onto spells. 1 Reinforcement of the Army. Yeah, it's just any PK, right? Or Kagamucha Knight if you already open a PK and you need an extender. 1 Foolish Burial. Again, any PK. Just super, super accessible resources by playing this card. 1 Emergency Teleport. This is for the Tracker and the Wielder. And 1 Reborn. Just super powerful card, but oftentimes just an extender. Help you play around hand traps, and yeah, these are just very good cards. Next, onto some of the more like interaction cards I was talking about earlier. I play 2 Tactics Talent. Yeah, this card is very, very good. I mean, there's lots of opportunities this deck gives for your opponent to hand trap. The deck's weak to quite a few hand traps, like Crow's good, Bell's good. Ash is obviously good. So you're giving your opponent opportunity to interact with you. And Tactics is very good for breaking boards. And yeah, it's just an amazing card. If you have droplets, I recommend having droplets. Or I recommend playing droplets if you have them, because it's a little better than Tactics because it's so free in this deck. Droplets is an amazing card in this deck, and if you have them, I would definitely play them. But Tactics, very, very good alternative. 1 Called By, again, I mean, this is one of the most versatile cards in Yu-Gi-Oh!, so it's just like a super sacky one-of staple that will help you play past hand traps and whatnot. And then I choose to main deck 3 Twin Twister. This might be, maybe this looks a little excessive in the main deck, but it's just so good for this format we currently have going on before Konami does the ban list thing. You know, it hits Eldritch traps like Conquistador, Huaquero, very, very important. It hits Chuche, very, very important. It hits like, I mean, Invoke Dog runs a buttload of traps. Like, there's so many traps this format. The only time this card's bad is like going second against Drytron. Going first against Drytron, you can like stop Fafnir randomly, which is like okay, but yeah, obviously this is a side out for most Drytron lists, but some side into like Vanity's Ruler and Bee-Buster Drake, so maybe keeping 1 is okay. It really just depends. But Twin Twister against everything else is amazing, and discarding Phantom Knights are free, and it's just a really, really powerful card when you play back row decks. Also, my local is just filled with back row decks, so for my list, personally, this is an amazing choice, but if it's not a great choice for your locals, or you don't want to play 3, you can definitely cut it down or take it out altogether for more extenders, whatever you would like to do. I also play the 1 main deck Harpy's Feather Duster. Yeah, I mean, super good blowout go second card. I'm not like trying to go second, but I want the list to be able to play first or second very well with like main decking droplets or the tactics, the twin twisters, and the deck's already amazing going first because all you need to see is Torn Scales, honestly. But Torn Scales and an extender is Torn Scales and extender, and Torn Scales and a Phantom Knight are absolutely insane. And then you have to play this one rank up for your Rebellion. That is it with the spells. Onto traps. 3 Fog Blade, pretty standard. I've tried to play 2 of this, but the way I play the deck, I kind of play it less about maintaining your first turn board because it's a little fragile, although very powerful. I play my first turn expecting my board to get broken, so I do want to have follow-up, which I think is the strongest thing about Phantom Knights. So 3 Fog Blade definitely works here, besides it just being one of the best traps in general. And then 1 Wings, I've thought about playing 2 of this, again, because I play the deck more follow-up, because I just expect my board to get broken. I don't think that board's going to stick. If it does, I mean, you win, but I expect it to get broken, and sometimes I really want a second Wings just as more ways to extend and play the grind. And then 1 Brigandine, because it can be an amazing and important extender for making Bardiche. And you need it most of the time if like you only open Torn Scales and a blank to make your full combo. So yes, that is the main deck, 40 cards. I think it's like pretty standard-ish, but some of the ratios are different, and I choose not to play Burning Abyss because I feel like I get to play more interaction with my opponent if I don't, like the Twin Twisters, the tactics, the double bells. Like, you find yourself really tight on space when you're putting in like 6 or 7 Burning Abyss monsters, or like even 4. On the extra deck, the 1 Cherubini, probably the most important card in the extra deck. You just want to turbo this guy out as fast as possible, send a level 3, and combo off later. The 1 Bardiche, again, this is absolutely mandatory. It's Phantom Knight's own Link monster, and it's going to get most of your plays, and it is very important for getting your first turn board, and it provides interrupts by popping cards. I mean, for your first turn board, he is mandatory, so because you need to pop your own Breaksword. Next up, 1 Phoenix, 1 Nightmare Unicorn. Just the Nightmare package, very, very good. Then we have 1 Underworld Goddess. So this is what I'm choosing to play in my big Link monster spot. I think this card is amazing for the deck. However, I personally do not have like an access code, and I don't have Boral Sword on me because one of my friends is borrowing it. However, I think this card is very, very good for the deck. If you have access code, definitely play access code because it is amazing. But if you can fit this and access code, that is extra good because Underworld Goddess is a great card for this deck because you can spam very, very easily. So yes, and then on to Xyz monsters, which make up the bulk of our extra deck. 2 Levier the Sea Dragon. This can be a one of. I personally like 2 because, again, I said that I choose to play the deck more follow-up style and have a better grind game, and Levier comes up so often, and you can make double Levier very easily, recycle your entire Phantom Knight engine while gaining pluses, and even make Zeus on top of this card, or whatever you want to do with it. 1800 beater when you're spamming your board quite heavily, and the more extenders you have, the easier this is to make. It's just amazing follow-up, so I choose to play the second one. You can definitely cut 1 down. Bamboozling. If you open enough extenders, you want to make this first so that you can make this and then still go into your Cherubini plays because, I mean, it's a way to stop Nibiru, so that's its objective is essentially Nibiru, is what you're running it for. Then 2 Breaksword. For a while when I was getting back into this deck and sort of like relearning what the deck can do because I haven't played it in a while, I wanted a 3rd Breaksword, to be honest, because it was kind of like training wheels. This deck is very resource based, and like if you get into the grind, you have to like conserve resources, make sure your grave is always full of what you need, and Breaksword comes up where like you really need Breaksword. And there were times when I was like getting back into it where I used Breaksword wrong, or I just got kind of happy-go-lucky with it. And yeah, later down the game I didn't have Breaksword, but I think the right ratio is to play 2. Like, I wanted a 3rd, but you need to fit so many cards, and you can definitely always win with 2 Breaksword. You should never need the 3rd. It's just like I was playing poorly, so I did. But yeah, 2 Breaksword, 1 for your main combo and 1 for follow-up. Then the obligatory Dark Rebellion. You absolutely need this thing for your Requiem with the rank up. It's part of your first turn play. The Raider's Knight, this is for follow-up, and usually is game when you activate and resolve this card because you're summoning Arc Rebellion, and that is usually going to swing for like 13,000 or something ridiculous. Speaking of which, we have the Requiem, and we have the Ark Rebellion. These are our targets. This one for Raiders Knight, this one for the rank up. They both do different things. They're both amazing cards and very big powerhouses for the deck. Yeah, super good cards. This is part of your first turn board, I should say, which is 3 monster negates. It's Appaloosa that destroys and doesn't get weaker. Like, it's crazy. And then it can special summon Breaksword. 2 is Zone Bardiche points 2, gets an additional pop. Honestly, such a crazy card. If this card sticks, you probably win the game, but I expect it to get broken because you end up with like 5 monster negates and a monster pop as your final board. Which is so weak to spells and traps. Like, they can open 1 Imperm, shut off your Xyz Dragon, and then you are left with like a Fog Blade, which, I mean, your board's going to get broken through that, and you need to be able to play the follow-up game, which is why I choose to do so. Droplets, Dark Ruler No More, just very powerful cards against this deck, but this deck can play such an amazing grind, it almost doesn't matter if your board gets broken at all. 1 Zeus, he comes up too often, you're playing like 10 Xyz in your extra deck, like, you're going to need to make him all the time. You know, your traps can bring back break swords from your graveyard. Then you can swing with them, make another Xyz, and then overlay a Zeus on top of it. Like, you're going to get several pops with this guy, or at least you're going to get 1 pop, and then if they destroy something, you can get a second by equipping stuff to him. But yeah, there have been times, like, even when I needed the 3rd break sword in my previous explanation, like, you can definitely just use Zeus the same way, and he is super powerful if you have access to him. So yeah, that is the Phantom Knight list. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, this could change. I don't expect anything to happen on the ban list that directly affects this deck, unless they bring back dangers in more ratios, but I don't expect that to happen. The only thing that will change in the list is, you know, like, if other decks change and I no longer have the need for Twin Twisters because we're in a combo format, you can run other things. If I get droplets, you know, I'll put them in over tactics, and then I'll update the list for you guys because that is what I should do. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you do like Phantom Knights and you are a fan of the little ghosts in armor, like this video, subscribe for more Phantom Knights content, and I hope to see you soon. This was Top Tier Gaming. Bye, YouTube.